Chapter 29 Blood-Colored Dusk 1. He saw that the people attacking Captain Lei were from the Blood Shadow team. The sun was slowly setting, being covered by the darkness in the far distance at a rate that could be seen by the **ket eye. It seemed that it wouldn't be long before darkness would cover the entire land. Waves of coldness also gradually spread out from the darkness, spreading in all directions. The jungle that was amidst the glow from the setting sun was like a struggling old man, not willing to leave the stage. However, the light from the setting sun didn't seem to have much strength to put up a fight. It could only helplessly stream through the densely packed tree leaves, seeming dull and sparse. However, Xu Qing, who was hidden on top of a tree, was different. He looked at the battlefield coldly and took in the entire scene with his ice-cold gaze. Out of the group of 5 from the Blood Shadow team, 2 of them were the main attackers, while the other 3 blocked off the escape paths, preventing Captain Lei from escaping. The 3 of them seemed to be of similar cultivation base as Luan Tooth at the 3rd level. They didn't dare to get too near and only circled around. However, their existence caused Captain Lei to have no choice but to be distracted. As for the 2 people in front, one of them released spirit energy fluctuations that were only a little weaker than Captain Lei. He was clearly at the 6th level of check condensation, and he was also an old man. His hair was disheveled and his gaze was fierce. There were cuts on his clothes, and it could be seen that his muscles were so pumped that they looked like they were going to explode. It was none other than the Blood Shadow team's captain who had eaten raw dog meat. At this moment, this Blood Shadow team captain licked his lips and attacked rapidly while staring coldly at Captain Lei, whose body was turning increasingly green. Today, the Thunder team will have its name removed from the campsite. Captain Lei, you might as well commit suicide. Otherwise, you'd be like that barbaric ghost, unable to get a complete corpse even after fighting until you get mutated. That's too undignified. If you were to commit suicide, it'll take good care of your team members. That's right, Captain Lei can be assured. After you die, well, take good care of the other members of the Thunder team. If wanted to have a taste of that Luan Tooth long ago. As for that kid you brought back, he should be worth some money if we were to sell him off as a treasure nurturer. The one who spoke up after the Blood Shadow team captain was the one attacking Captain Lei together with him. He was an ugly middle-aged man whose back was bulged up as if it was distorted. He was blinded in one eye, and his remaining eye gleamed with bloodthirst. Although his spirit energy wave wasn't as strong as his captain's, it surpassed Xu Qing's impression of the spirit energy that Cross had, reaching the 5th level of check condensation. However, it wasn't very stable. He seemed to have just broken through recently. Faced with the duo's verbal challenge, Captain Lei was expressionless, but he seemed to have the intent to die and attacked even faster and more ferociously. The Blood Shadow duo, who had been unwilling to suffer serious injuries from killing Captain Lei, were forced to back off slightly, and they started guerrilla tactics. Clearly, they were very determined in succeeding today. Therefore, they were prepared to drag things out. 1 at the 6th level, 1 at the 5th level, and 3 3rd levels. The killing intent in Xu Qing's eyes was strong. He could leave, but he viewed debts of gratitude very highly. Captain Lei had treated him quite well from the beginning, so Xu Qing wasn't planning on leaving. Instead, he quickly scanned the battlefield and the surrounding environment. This place wasn't very spacious. There were many trees and the light was dim, with more dark spots. It was suitable for him to take action. After making an assessment in his heart, killing intent erupted forth from Xu Qing's eyes instantly. His legs stomped the tree's top fiercely, borrowing the momentum to spring forward, moving closer and closer like an arrow that was released from the bowstring. The physical power brought by the 3rd level of the mountains and seas are together. With the purple crystal was instantly displayed at this moment. He was so fast that a clear off-dream image was left at the top of the tree. Before everyone on the battlefield could react to things, Xu Qing's figure had dashed into the battlefield in the blink of an eye. He appeared next to one of the trio, who was blocking Captain Lei's escape routes. Xu Qing's target was a small and skinny youth, and the latter's triangular-shaped eyes reflected the image of Captain Lei, who was being jointly attacked. He didn't notice Xu Qing's appearance at all. It was until he felt the cold wind blowing into his face did he start for a moment. And just when he was about to turn his head, at the next moment an iron stick pierced through his temple with horrifying force. Xu Qing didn't wait for the corpse to fall over or for the agonizing cries to ring out. He then bent over and kicked out toward the back, erupting in speed and charging toward another person like a hunting leper. Upon seeing this, the second scavenger's countenance changed drastically, and his pupils contracted with fear. He wanted to retreat, but Xu Qing had gotten too close. His fist displayed astonishing might from the third level of the mountain's NC's art, which instantly arrived at his target. With a boom, the second scavenger was hit in the chest. As a result, his chest caved in, and then a bloody hole was blown through his back. The sounds of bones cracking echoed out as well. After that, Xu Qing waved his left hand, and a dagger was thrown out with terrifying force, drawing a long arc in the air and shooting out with extreme speed at the third person. When the second scavenger's chest bone was smashed, his heart collapsed. And when his back burst open, only then did the third scavenger come to his senses. He was just about to take action when his vision blurred and a strong wind blew into his face. After that, his body instantly stiffened up and his eyes widened in surprise. With his last bit of strength, he raised his hand out of instinct and gingerly touched his glabella. An icy dagger had penetrated there. The great force from the dagger caused the area around his glabella to sink, shattering his skull. Everything happened at lightning speed. Xu Qing was too fast and his moves were extremely decisive. At this moment, as the first and third corpses fell to the ground, the second target, whose chest caved in and whose heart was damaged, also fell down, revealing Xu Qing's figure. Xu Qing's posture was stooped low, and his long black hair covered half of his face. However, this couldn't hide his cold and sharp gaze that was like that of a wolf. At this moment, he looked up and met the gazes of Captain Lei and the two other men from the Blood Shadow. They were all stunned by his interference.